Hi everyone, it's Claire again, and it's a super new moon in Taurus on the 27th of April, which is today. So it's 8:31 Universal Time, 3:31 New York time, 12:31 Los Angeles time. And according to Pam Gregory, Venus is being conjunct with Saturn, testing our personal relationships. And there's been turbulence in wealth, money, currencies, and as we know, the tariff thing going on with the USA affecting the whole world with fallout, and the possibility of new currencies being discussed as well. And Taurus is also linked to agriculture, earth, food production, and there's a new moon is semi-square to Ceres, which Pam Gregory talks about as the goddess of harvest. And there's two planets in Aries, so she thinks food production and possibility of flooding and fire potential as well with the astrology that's going on around nowish. So just watch out for those. And also you've got this fixed grand cross, which is a particular formation in astrology. It kind of does literally look like a cross like that with a center, and it can really cause some tension and combative energy, and the tension might get entrenched, as Pam Gregory says, and this could be kind of leading to seismic activity, which would be a release for the earth if it did. And also it links with the breakdown of old structures, so not just economic, but also all types of structures. And Pam Gregory has talked about that for a long time. So she talked about combating this feeling of stress, particularly, by the way, the fixed signs like Taurus, Scorpio, Leo and Aquarius might feel this more strongly, this like tension feeling. So have a method like meditation, listen to your music, walk in the woods, which I've just done with my dog, which was really super lovely. Listening to birds' song, which is appropriate at spring, and be in that feeling of love, peace and stillness. So, as I say, those fixed signs may also may have outdated beliefs which are being challenged, particularly by that fixed cross. So in astrology, and we may need to reconsider what is our true wealth. So the Taurus new moon asks us to redefine our values, really, where we've been in comfort and just sat there perhaps in a rut, though it might be a fur-lined rut or something diamond encrusted rut, but versus growth. What are we overly attached to? And what have we got any urges to do things like clear our closets, clear out old apps on our phones? Have we got too many distractions? And how can we simplify things so that we are more present and not having to deal with distractions and things that aren't really kind of really adding to our life? And are we too cluttered? And do we really actually, one question is to ask, do we really have what matters? There might be something which is really playing on our minds, which we perhaps need to take more action to attain, and then lose the things that aren't adding to what our values are now, because there is this subtle change in values going on really at the moment as well. And Venus, which rules Taurus, which the new moon is in, is the planet of love and beauty. And really, we may need to look as well, with it being the planet of love, at our relationships. Are some of the relationships we have, and I don't just mean romantic, I mean friendships, are they too heavy? Where are we not being nourished? Are our relationships nourishing us? And this new moon as well closes the eclipse portal, where the energy was pretty cosmic and, just very directed by the universe and the planets. So, but this new moon is more about our own power and our own values and our own conscious participation. And leading on to another astrologer, Tanya Gabrielle, who also is into numerology, mentioned battles of the wills and the stubborn fixed signs, one of which I am. I'm a Scorpio. And we sometimes feel we have to succeed at all costs. And Mars, being in Leo, is quite fiery and goal directed energy at this time. She talks about Mars being trine to Neptune, and use the creativity and imagination and mystery and subtle energy that comes with those planets. And Venus conjunct Neptune is looking at sort of romance and compassionate energies as well. So kind of more gentle things. So she thinks avoid loud events, loud environments and loud people, and create beauty and love. So maybe a little bit more introspective. And then we're on to Molly McCord, and she talked about that grand fixed cross, and she really showed it on her chart really clearly. And it being a transition to a higher path and being honest about what is not working for us. And it's like we're being tested about what are the old ways. There's a standoff between what are the old ways and what are the new sovereign individual things to be doing. And there's like this standoff going on there. And she also talked about what happened since November 24 to do with the astrology, and that Mars has been very active with this fight or flight energy going on. Are we fighting stuff, or are we flying away from it? And how are we being empowered? Can we be more authentic and upgrade the self? And I actually heard that as a sort of download myself. And I kept thinking, what does that mean? What does that mean? And that is linked in with this astrology. It must be linked with the Grand Cross. So it means kind of redirecting ourselves more upward, especially with the ascension of, if you like, the planet as well. And that includes the individuals on the planet. So we're all in harmony. And that's what Taurus new moon is really helping us with. And also you've got, she mentioned particularly, I think Pam did as well, Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio, which helps if we have suffered. It shows us, where we've suffered abuse, trauma, manipulation, or revenge, these darker things, which Scorpio linking with Black Moon Lilith is very capable of looking into these dark depths, which are a bit murky, but might need to be looked at. And it's part of that Grand Cross energy. So a sense she talked about of turning inward to the self and upward on the higher level and the higher path, and being patient and waiting and doing things step by step. So I would say be aware of synchronicities. I think this is a really important time. Look at repeating numbers where you suddenly might get 222, I don't know, 555, anything like that. I've often seen those, and those are often little subtle signs from, the divine to say, look at what's going on at the moment. It's, it might be very important. And dream messages, I'm getting messages in dreams. Neptune's very apt at doing that for us. And just reconsider, that means, that might mean this. Okay. And even have a dream diary. Look at new connections that come in from out of nowhere, like for new people or places. And be aware that the new supermoon in Taurus is really calling us with subtle signs for change. So have a really happy new moon, and great time to focus on new things, new people, new places, new projects, and so on. So have a great time. And also, by the way, I'm doing, I might as well mention it, a De-Stress You 3-day challenge. So I run a little group called De-Stress You in a program, and that's really looking at our personal stresses and what some of the factors are involved there, what's triggering us. And then I'm doing 3 days. We do that at the beginning. And then the second day, looking at actually the chakras, which are energy points relating to the spirit, physical body, and how that links to our health and stress to a degree. And the third day is actually about using intuition. So I'm going a little bit all over the place, but it actually is a nice little package to help us look at ourselves and self-empower ourselves with potentially new tools, because what I can do is then talk more about the actual program. It's not a big sell. It's free. You can do 1 day, you can do 3 days, you can do 2 days, whatever you like. And what I'm doing is there's a group specifically for the challenge. So if you have got interest, do direct message me, and I can send you a link for that. And I'll be sharing videos in the various platforms probably for some of it anyway. Okay, well, have a great new moon in Taurus. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.